Hello, parents and guardians. I wanted to come back to you to give you some updates on what's happening in the Macomb School District. Still want to always start these messages with us being safe. I know that the numbers are going down in our state. The governor is opening things back up. There was a new executive order that came out yesterday regarding outside events for K-12 schools. And so we know that the governor is opening up things. We know that numbers are going down, but we still need to be careful because people are still contracting COVID and lives are still at stake. So I'm still encouraging you, because the numbers are going down, we still cannot let our guards down. We still need to be very, very careful and protect ourselves. We know that the vaccine is available. People are getting the vaccine, but still, let's make sure that we're very careful and we don't let our guards down regarding COVID, because we don't want to have a rebound of something in our community, something in our schools that we cannot control. In my last video message, I did talk with you about state assessments. And I wanted to remind you parents that all required federal and statewide assessments will be administered to scholars this school year, including the third grade reading assessment, the MAP reading, English language arts assessment, and mathematics for students in grades 3 through 8, the science assessment for students in grades 5 and 8, and all of the high school end of course assessments for Algebra 1, English 2, biology, and U.S. history. This year's state assessment will provide valuable information regarding the impact that COVID-19 has had on learning, and this will also help us identify where accelerated learning opportunities are for our scholars and what they most need in order to be successful. Parents and scholars, it is very important that you take this state assessment seriously so that we will have valid data, so that we'll know what we need to do. So students, scholars, as you take the state assessment, please make sure that you give us your very, very best effort. Our current third graders will not be required to make a passing score on the reading assessment to be promoted to fourth grade for next year. And also our high school scholars who take the required end of course assessments. Those assessments again, including Algebra 1, English 2, biology, and U.S. history, they are not required to meet a passing score, but they do have to meet all of the other requirements that the state may have and the district may have for graduation. For those third grade scholars, although they're not required to meet a passing score, those scholars should still meet the district's requirement for third graders to be promoted to the fourth grade. It is very important that you hear this, that although the state assessments have been waived for passing for third grade students, and also those end of course assessments for high school, those third graders must still meet the minimum requirements required for district promotion, and also those seniors must meet those standards for graduation. All scholars, those scholars hybrid and virtual, must take the state assessments at their school site. Schools will provide safe testing accommodations for those scholars who are virtual to come to the school site to take their assessment. While we realize that this pandemic has had a significant impact on all of our lives, it has touched all of our lives in many ways. We have learned a lot during this pandemic. We have done some things positive and we've done some things not so good, but we are learning through this process. I just want to let parents know and scholars know that we still need our scholars to provide their very best effort every day that they come to school, whether that is a hybrid student or whether that is a virtual student. Logging in is very important. Logging in daily is very important, and attendance is very important. Completing coursework is very important. Completing the assignments and any assessments that you're given by your teacher practitioners These are very important because these are the pieces that we will use to determine if a scholar is promoted to the next grade level. Scholars will be promoted to the next grade level based upon their performance and the district's promotion policy. So, schools will not do what they did last year in awarding points. I want parents and scholars to hear me very clearly, and I'm going to say it again. Scholars will be promoted to the next grade level based upon their performance. So parents, will you please help us regarding scholar attendance and making sure our scholars log in daily, whether that's a hybrid student, whether that's a virtual student, logging in every day during the time that they should log in is very important, and attendance is very important. These have been two major concerns for our schools and our teachers. We will be offering summer school. More details regarding summer school will be provided after the Easter break, but I will let you know that summer school will begin June 7th of this year. Parents, scholars, iPad and Chromebook care is very important. These tools have become essential tools that we need for instruction. Therefore, we are encouraging our scholars to handle them with care. Treat these iPads, treat the Chromebooks very delicately because we only have so many. When these Chromebooks, when iPads break, we don't have many iPads or Chromebooks that we can replace those with. So scholars, we want you to take care of that iPad, the Chromebook that you have in your possession. Junior high school parents, we need your assistance in helping us implement the cell phone policy at the junior high school. If you have any concerns regarding that cell phone policy, please contact the junior high school principal, Miss Felicia Thomas. This is very important. Graduation is quickly approaching for those seniors who will be graduating. Seniors, please make sure that you contact high school administration, the counseling staff, Macomb High School's graduation coach, and your teachers to make sure that you are meeting all of the requirements for graduation. For any senior who may be missing assignments, there is still time for you to make up those assignments. Phone calls are being made to parents. School status messages are being sent to parents of any senior who may be in jeopardy of graduating and meeting those graduation requirements. So parents, please check your voicemail, please check your school status accounts, or contact the high school principal, Ms. Rose Clark, as soon as possible if you have any questions or concerns. We want to make sure every senior is on track for graduation, and we are doing everything that we can do to help those scholars graduate. Parents, if you have any concerns, I'm asking you to please contact the high school, contact Principal Clark. Do not wait until the last minute. It's very important because there is still time for those seniors to make up assignments and graduate with their graduating class. We know that this pandemic has been very hard on all of us, but we still want all of our seniors to graduate, and we want those scholars to graduate on time. For those seniors who would like to receive the Gear Up Grant, the $3,500 Gear Up Grant, or any other state institution scholarships, you must complete your financial aid and your FAFSA. The high school will have a FAFSA drive-through event. It will be held on April 15th. Please check our district website and our Facebook page or our social media outlets for times. They will be posted later, but please note that on April 15th, that drive-through will occur. Parents, I would like for you, if you need to know anything about state assessments, you may be able to check our website for those state assessment times, but you can also contact your school so that you know when those state assessments will be given for your school and when your virtual scholars need to be there. Macomb High School will be providing class selection forms during their report card pickup. So please contact the high school regarding report card pickup. It is very important that you get those course selection forms. Parents, although this has been a very difficult year for us, it's been a very difficult year for everyone. This has been something that none of us in our lifetime we have experienced. But the good news is that we have made it to the final quarter. So I'm encouraging you to keep the lines of communication open. Let's work together. Let's work collaboratively so that we can finish this school year strong in spite of the challenges that this pandemic has put upon us. I would like to thank you, parents, I'd like to thank you, scholars and community members, for your continuous support. And let's have a safe Easter break, and I will see you on my next video message. Take care.